All right, welcome back to literal equations. I love literal equations. I always probably say that to a lot of things because I really do enjoy algebra. But literal equations really test that you understand the order of operation, that you know how to just follow the basic rules. And like I've said before, algebra is all about learning the rules to math. It's like one big playbook for math, okay? So these can look really scary because you have a whole bunch of letters and not a lot of numbers or symbols or different things. So in this case, it says solve for pi. Whenever it says solve for something, it just means we want that to be all by itself. So that's it, okay? So let's see, right here, we are actually saying 2 times pi times r times h. So the opposite of multiplication is going to be division. So I'm going to divide by 2, divide by r, and divide by h, because this will become 1, 1, and 1, leaving me with just a pi. But if I do that to this side, I must do that to this side. So we have 2 r h. Now, I can't cancel any of these out because none of these are like terms. So we're done. The only thing we're going to do is flip it around and clean it up. So I'm going to put pi on this side, and I'm going to put s over 2, and I'm going to put hr just because that way they're in alphabetical order, okay? So as long as you know order of operation, don't worry about whether they're letters or numbers, you just follow the same steps, okay? So over here, we need to solve for v. So let's see, what should we do first? I think I'm going to clean out that fraction first. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply this side by 2. So that means I'll multiply this side by 2, and 2e is the same thing as 2 times e, right? So on this side I have 2e equals, and this 2 will cancel out this 2, leaving us with just 1. So we have mv squared. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this m next. Let's divide that by m. Over here we'll divide it by m. So m divided by m is 1. So now we have 2e over m equals v squared. Okay, well, how do you get rid of a power? You put it under a radical sign. In this case, we're going to take the cube root. So I'm going to take the cube root of this, which means I need to take a cube root of everything on this side. Now remember, taking a cube root, there's an implied 2 here. So I have 2 v's, don't I? That means you can pull them out as 1 v. Now I can't pull anything out here because I don't have 2 of any kind. So that will stay under the radical sign. So we have 2e over m, and actually I'm going to put my equals v on this side because that's the way it should end up, with the v on the left hand side. And so I just flip them around. Okay, next we are going to solve for b. So we want b to be all by itself. We have 2 terms. This term has the b, so we just want to move this one. So we're going to go ahead and say negative 7a, negative 7a. These cancel out, leaving us with 2b. Well, these are unlike terms, so I simply have c minus 7a. So I'm just going to rewrite that because there's nothing I can do to it. Now I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2. So I'll do that same thing over here. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that leaves us with 1b equals c minus 7a all over 2. And that's our end answer because there is nothing else we can do to it. And I know that these answers look strange. It's just testing that you understand the rules, that you can follow rules in an orderly fashion. We don't have to worry about what they look like, okay? All right, right, and last one. All right, so we are going to multiply all of this by 3. We're going to cancel this out first. So the opposite of doing that would be 1/3. So the opposite of that would be multiplying it by 3. So I'm just going to multiply both sides by 3 because remember that's 3 over 1. So this leaves us with 1 over here, cancels out, and so we have 3y on this side. So that will just be x plus 1. Since we want to solve for x, we're just going to move the 1 now to the other side. These aren't like terms, so we simply have 3y minus 1 equals x. All right, looks pretty good. Pretty much done. We're just going to put it in standard form now, and that will be x equals 3y minus 1. So I just flipped them around, and that will be our final answer. Literal equations. Take a deep breath when you see all of those letters and numbers and they don't look like they turn out to be anything. You're just seeing if you can follow the rules, okay? One step at a time.